Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Retirement Redefined. In today's episode, we're going to do something a little bit different. Normally, you just hear from Carly and I, but we're going to take the time to introduce you to a lot more team members here at Fiat Wealth Management. Hey, everyone. I'm Brad Gotto, your host of Retirement Redefined, one of the founders and CEOs of Fiat Wealth Management. Like we talked about, we're going to do something a little bit different. It's the end of the year, kind of, at least as we're recording this. And we thought we would take the time. The team has changed a lot over the last 12 to 24 months. And not everybody that knows Fiat or works with Fiat or trusts Fiat with their finances knows all of our team members. Now, because of the growth, what we can't do actually, we're going to break this into a two-part series. So the next couple of episodes, we're going to be doing this. But even then, if we wanted to get every team member in a meaningful way in two episodes, these episodes would be a couple of hours long, and we don't want to do that to you. So for the sake of time, we've kind of cherry-picked a little bit to some of our newer team members, maybe people you're unfamiliar with. And so in this episode specifically, we're going to focus in on some of the advisors on the team. In the next episode, we're going to dive into some of the staff members or non-advisors, however you want to call them, or whatever you want to call that. But I'm excited to do this. This is going to be a lot of fun. Kind of like speed dating. So we're not going to spend a ton of time with every member of the team, but I'm actually going to start it off with Aaron. Aaron's new to the team. You joined us in April, I believe. Am I right?
Yes. Yes, that is correct.
I think he's a little bit nervous. Aaron joined us in April. Give us a real quick backstory. Where did you come from pre-Fiat?
Pre-Fiat was really just a student.
College
student, yeah. Didn't have really any full-time experience before working at Fiat. Had a couple various internships and part-time jobs and whatnot throughout the years, but kind of in the full-time workspace, Fiat's where I started.
Awesome. So my version of the backstory is, yes, he came from college. He was referred to us by one of our clients. Said, hey, I know a friend of mine's son is looking to get into your industry. I would love if you would talk to him. And long story short, here he is. And so we're very, very happy to have him. Aaron is one of the new advisors on the team. And so with that being said, Aaron, here's the first question I have for you. Now that you kind of like stepped into this advisor role, I know it's still pretty new, but give me one client conversation in kind of your first year that really stood out to you.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just one conversation, but just kind of a conversation that is reoccurring with the families that we meet with and work with, is just the value of the education side of things that we do here at Fiat. I think a lot of people think they know what wealth management looks like, but here at Fiat, spending a lot of time educating the families we work with and making sure that they can make the most informed decision, I think is one thing that I never really thought of, but I think is something that's really cool to have that conversation and to hear the value that they get from it, of knowing what they own, why they own it, and kind of what part of the plan it plays.
Love it. That warms my heart. Education is why I do what I do, so I'm glad that you're hearing that. Second question, what have you learned about what kind of advisor you want to be now that you've kind of gotten your feet wet? Because I remember when I started as an advisor, I could barely spell financial advisor, and I didn't really understand what it meant. Now that you've been in it for a handful of months, how has that kind of shaped what you want to become for the families that you serve?
Yeah, I think it kind of echoes that first question a little bit, of just not wanting to be the money guy. I think for so many people, the financial advisor, the wealth manager, or whatever you want to call it, is the money guy. He manages the money, tries to get them the best growth return in their portfolio, but that's kind of the extent of it. And that's not who I want to be. I want to be someone that the scope of our relationship, our advisory relationship, is beyond just being the money guy and trying to grow your pile of money, but kind of having a feel and a pulse and having the picture of the whole financial aspect of it, whether that's returns or retirement planning, distribution planning, the tax side of it as well, and the estate planning, kind of tying everything together and having the holistic view of them.
Awesome. I'm going to lighten it up here. I'm going to end by asking you some personal questions, just two of them. Number one, you had a big life event this year. Can you let our listeners know what happened? Or do you even remember?
I got a full-time job. No, I'm kidding. I got married in July to my wife, Gabby. So that's been awesome. Been about 4 months now, 5 months, and just been really cool to experience marriage, and really fun to step into that phase of life.
As a guy that's been married for 20 years, and I'm sure a lot of our listeners have been married for more than 4 or 5 months, you're still in the honeymoon phase. So put the toilet seat down and be nice. Give us one fact. We're going to end with this. Give us one fact that most people don't know about you.
I think it would be that what's the phrase they call it? A guilty pleasure. I love like Dua Lipa, Olivia Dean,
Oh, wow.
Sabrina Carpenter, all that music. It's
okay.
I weirdly love.
I'm glad that
listening
you
to
put music in at the end of that, because I
Yeah.
don't think anybody would have had any idea what you're talking about. I don't even know what kind of music that is. I did know that it was music. I've at least heard the names, but I would assume those are not normal for a mid-20-something-year-old male then? Is that what you're getting at? Because I don't even know well enough to know that that's not.
I don't know. I don't know if it's not normal. I just don't know if it's what people expect.
All right. Well, you started with guilty pleasure, so I didn't know where you were going to go, so I'm glad it was music related. Aaron, we're super excited that you're on the team. Been a lot of fun seeing you grow in a very short amount of time, and thanks for being a part of the podcast today.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
All right, so moving on, advisor number 2 that we're bringing to the podcast today is Lauren Brown. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks
I
for
know you're
having
busy.
me.
It's end of year, running around right now like a chicken with your head cut off, trying to take care of families, but taking a couple of minutes to kind of come back to the podcast. And I say coming back because you've actually been on the podcast with me once.
Yep, I did.
But it was a minute ago.
Yeah.
So we're having you back. And so, Lauren, can you just let everybody know kind of what your role is here at Fiat?
Yeah, so I'm a servicing advisor. I work with Danny Colvin, helping clients. I'm kind of structured on the back end, so I do a lot with building the plans, investing, that kind of thing. But yeah, just here to help support the clients.
Said differently, she's the smart one. If you're unfamiliar structurally, I'll just really quickly tell the listeners, we build advisor teams. I think that we work better as a team of people to serve families rather than just kind of a solo advisor out there trying to kind of figure it out on their own. And so Lauren and Danny have teamed up to add even more value to the families that they serve. And so, Lauren, when did you join Fiat Wealth Management?
I joined in 2023.
Do you remember when in 2023?
September 1st, 2023. Yeah.
Perfect. So a little more than 2 years ago. So here's my first question for you. Different conversations, and actually a couple different roles here. And prior to Fiat, you had more than a decade of experience in this industry. You're a certified financial planner. What's a moment this year that meant a lot to you personally?
Yeah. So, I mean, with supporting the clients, I get to sit in on a lot of meetings. I get to, help them. I get to support them. And I think the biggest thing, and one of the conversations that stands out to me the most is, we had a client that came in, they were nervous about retiring. They didn't know if they were going to, have enough money. The whole process is so overwhelming. And by the end of it, they were like, I feel so much better. Like, thank you. I feel so much better. And I just think just helping our clients just sort everything out and make it easy for them by, the planning that we do.
Yeah.
Like, that is my most favorite thing.
I love that. I use the phrase all the time, there's no true freedom in life without boundaries. And so fear comes out of the unknown. And that's part of planning. It's just bringing the unknown into the known and being able to remove that fear for the client. I love that answer. So inside of that, again, with as many years of experience as you have, what is something this year specifically that you've learned through the way that you've supported your clients that's either new to you, fun for you, or?
I think something that I've learned is, and not even just this year, but just like through my experience, is really getting to the why and the emotion behind what people, want with their financial goals. I mean, there's something to be said where on paper it looks good. It's kind of the CFP manual handbook, but then there's also the emotion behind it. And I think really finding that emotion in people and why they want to do things, whether it's retirement or different financial goals. Like, I think I've really learned a lot, especially this year too, being in that supportive role of helping kind of divulge that from people so that we can build better plans and build it more structured to them.
I love that too. I use the example all the time because I think it's easier for people to kind of bring into their day-to-day life. If you wanted to like become like physically healthy, you wanted to start working out or dieting or just something like that. One of the things that's really important in order to do that the right way, that's going to have long-lasting impact on your life, or that you're going to be able to stick with, is to understand why you're trying to do it. Like, what does it mean to you? Are you trying to do it just because you're trying to lose 10 pounds? Does you want to look good in a swimming suit because you have, history of heart failure in your family? Like, what are we after? Why are we after this?
Yeah.
And then that can kind of define how a lot of the planning goes around your health. And it's no different for us. And so, but that's the hard part of what we do.
Yeah, exactly. And I think sometimes people come in and they don't know it. But as they go through the process, we kind of uncover it, and people really start to see, okay, this is why I want to do it. And that's the beauty of it, and that's what I love.
So you're a CFP and a therapist.
Exactly. It is very much like being a therapist.
You do rockstar work here, but you also have to be a rockstar at home. And so I'm going to switch a little bit to the personal side. I didn't tell you I was going to do this, and that's very on purpose. Rockstar, because you're a mom. So talk to me a little bit about your kids.
Yeah. So I've got two kids. I've got Mason. He's 14. He's going to be 15 in February. He's in high school, just started high school this year. So we have freshmen. We have all of those new emotions and all of that going on, which is really fun. And then I've got Aubrey. She is going to be 13 on Friday. So I'm going to have two teenagers. And it's a whole different phase of parenting, but I love it. I really do love it.
There's a 7-hour podcast episode you and I could do.
Yes, on teenagers.
Our kids are very similar age, 15 and 12.
Yep.
So, love that. Now, give me one fact about you that most people do not know. It's appropriate for a podcast.
I know. You know what's really kind of funny? I do have like a talent where, like, for music. So like I can hear a song and I might not know it, but I can like tell you like the year that the song was made. I don't know why, but I know it sounds really weird, but I have like this weird kind of like music trivia. I really like music trivia. And so like, I don't know, I'm pretty good at it.
Did you know that Ashley and Jamie on our team would also claim the same thing?
Yes, I know Ashley will definitely claim it. Yes. And
I think this sounds like a competition internally at Fiat. And if you guys are lucky enough, we may broadcast this.
I know, that would be fun.
That's awesome. Lauren, thank you so much for taking the time and being a part of the podcast. That being said, the work that our advisors do, but like you specifically in supporting Danny and being part of that team and those clients has been so awesome to watch. And so thanks for taking a couple minutes out of your very busy day. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And
no problem. This was fun.
On to the next. Here we go. All right, and our last advisor for the day, but last doesn't necessarily mean anything other than it's a random order. It's a random order. I just want to be clear, is Darren Leapak. Darren, thanks for taking the time.
Yeah, happy to be here.
I said this with Lauren, who was just in here, but it's a busy time of year for us. And so I greatly appreciate you taking the time to do this. And so, Darren, just let the listeners know really quickly, when did you join the Fiat team? How long have you been here?
Gosh, it's probably coming up on 4 years now.
You think so?
I think so.
Okay. I'm gonna believe you because I'm not good at remembering people born on dates, so to speak.
That's typically not a question that I think about every morning.
Yeah.
When was my born on date of Fiat Wealth Management? But
really quick though, give me the back. Where did you come from prior to Fiat? Because you've been in financial services, kind of in this industry for a long time, and so and I'm not trying to cut you off here. We don't need the 5-minute version of this, but the really quick 50,000 foot view, kind of your history in this industry.
Yeah, I've been fortunate to be on a couple different sides of it. So ultimately coming out of a finance program, I fell in love with financial planning, found myself working with families one-on-one, more in a captive industry, which I found there is some drawbacks to that, which ultimately kind of gave me a nudge. And my clients then for quite a few years were financial advisors. So I was fortunate to travel the country, learn a lot from other advisors, learn what I like, learn what I didn't like so much, and really fell in love with, again, helping families through financial planning. So that's when I knew that was my passion and ultimately wanted to get back in the saddle of helping people do that.
So if you've listened to this podcast since day one, you'll know that you and I, Darren and I, have a lot of similarities in our background. And so I was really, really excited when we had the opportunity to partner with Darren almost 4 years ago.
4 years ago, I believe.
So that being said, as an advisor on this team, we have kind of what I call liminal moments as the years go on, and we just have things that happen in conversations. Remember clients that just kind of stand out. And so, my first question to you is: this year, in all the conversations you've had, which have been a lot, you've been very busy. What is one conversation that stood out to you, or that made you pause, reflect, or made an impact on you, or maybe change the way you think about planning?
Yeah, I would say, without mentioning names, it's someone who's been through a heck of a lot in the last few years, losing loved ones, losing spouses. And she had told me that in the first time in 6 decades, she finally feels like she understands how things work. It's a broad question. It's hard to think about, but again, when you meet someone kind of, I don't want to say the lowest, but they've been through so much, they've lost a lot of people, they feel like they're alone, and now having to navigate things that, she was very honest. She's like, I have never thought about money. I've never cared about money. I've never been responsible for figuring that part of life out. And, after a lot of planning, a lot of visits going through and helping understand how things work and building plans together, to get that feedback from her, I think it's why we do what we do.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's not about the size of the pile. It's for her to have a soft pillow at night and understand, like, holy smokes, I actually feel like I know what I'm doing. That's what it's about.
Those, with all the parts of this job that are hard, that keep you up at night, those are the reasons we keep coming back.
Yeah.
Right. Because you're making a positive impact. For sure. So kind of a follow-up question that's maybe adjacent to that is whether people work with Fiat or don't work with Fiat, but when you just think about our industry as a whole and the idea or concept of working with kind of a comprehensive planner, what's one piece of advice you would give to the average person out there that to think about, like, whether it's partnering with a firm or just doing it on their own, like, because we see this all the time, and we have these. This is where the question comes from. We get very frustrated by families that tell us no, not because it's about our pocketbook, but because we know we can help them, and it becomes really frustrating that they say no, because you're like, gosh, it's kind of like being a doctor, and you tell somebody if you just start exercising 30 minutes a day, your type 2 diabetes will go away or something like that, and then they just don't take your advice. We have that happen a lot too. Sure. And so if you could give like kind of one piece of advice or just kind of one recommendation to the average person out there, what would it be?
Just stay consistent. I don't think we give ourselves enough grace. I don't want to make accumulation sound easy. Currently, I have an 18-month-old son. I'll tell you, like, life is chaos when you're accumulating wealth. What I find the most is that the second someone gets an inch into the world of distribution planning, it's overwhelming. It feels like a lot. And because we get kind of that flood of like, oh my gosh, there's so many parts and pieces to that, they run from it sometimes. And I think the biggest piece of advice is give yourself some grace to understand that it's okay not to have everything figured out. Gosh, it's okay to retire and not know exactly how much money you're going to spend a month, because not everybody's good at that stuff. The first week, the first month, the first year of retirement. I mean, you spend your whole life doing one thing. And so to flip a switch and be like, I'm going to be incredible at this, I'm going to understand everything, and every conversation, every topic or planning idea that comes up, I'm going to be 10 out of 10 confident on how that stuff works. And so that's my biggest piece of advice is stay consistent, stay the course, and give yourself a little bit of grace to know that it is a process. And just like you brought up health, I do all the time. It's never ending.
Yeah.
It's never ending. It's something you got to work on forever.
I wish it ended. I really do. I wish you could like work out for a certain period of time and
we're
be healthy for a certain, and it would just lock in, and that's who you become.
I did the thing. I checked the box.
And trust me, I've tried that multiple times. It doesn't work. All right, I'm going to switch gears here on you, and I'm purposely. I know that we gave you questions ahead of time. Sure. I'm purposely not asking all the right questions because I want to keep you on your toes. You're married. Have a son who's 18 months old. You mentioned that. Your wife's name is Paige. For the listeners, when is your anniversary?
My anniversary?
Yeah.
August 5th.
Okay. I love the little pause there.
Yeah.
August 5th of what year?
2017.
2017.
Paige, don't stat check me.
So, Paige, what's your son's name?
Wade.
And prior to having Wade 18 months ago, you did have a kid. You took the standard American way, right? You got married and then you got a 4-legged kid.
A golden doodle of all things.
Just the most average American thing ever. I'm going to get a golden doodle. His name is
Huck Finn.
And then you had a kid. So the kid got demoted to dog. Now you have an actual kid.
Yeah.
And you're moving.
We are.
So what's that story? Where are you going? Are you leaving?
I will tell you, unlike most folks, we are excited to get away from everything. All the comforts of life and the ease of having the grocery store and everything close to you. Yeah, we're heading north. About 5 years ago, we started talking about the idea of getting out of the Twin Cities and what it would be like. We were both from smaller towns and grew up in the country and just missing some family.
Yeah.
And so 3 years ago, we kind of started the journey of putting things on paper and making it happen. And I'm excited. I'm not sure exactly when this will air, but currently 2 days from now.
Yeah. As we're recording, 2 days from now, you have to move.
We are gone.
And a lot of you listening have, probably all of you at some point in your life have moved, maybe recently. We know that that's a lot of work. And so I know you're really busy with end of year planning. Plus you're trying to move. Plus you got an 18-month-old at home. I know you're kind of burning the candle at both ends. So I appreciate you taking a couple of minutes to be here. I just want to end with one final question. And I know from personal experience, you could talk about what I'm about ready to ask about for a very long time. So I don't want the whole story. Just from a timing perspective, you're a big hunter, fisher guy. I don't know if that's the correct way to say it, and I'm going to be made fun of for the people that actually hunt and fish because I don't.
Man is always nice.
Yeah, I'm going to say guy. I'm going to stick with guy. Of all the things you've hunted, animals, what is your favorite hunt you've done? What animal? What is going to give you the most excitement?
Yeah, I'll say it's the most, the hardest one, the ones that challenge you the most, the ones that you're the least successful on. I've become obsessed because of my really good friend. His name is Cam. He had the wild idea to move out to Billings, Montana after college, and he kind of kicked off this obsession and this passion for just running around in the mountains with a crew of really good guys. So we've been elk hunting out there for, 7-8 years now, all public land, archery, so bow and arrow.
So elk hunting with a bow.
Correct. Yep. I've been fortunate to draw 2 tags as a non-resident hunter. So I've done a lot of calling. I've done a lot of quietly learning every twitch my buddy does in front of me, what that means, because I haven't had a tag in my pocket. And this year we were fortunate, just so blessed to be able to go out in September, be in the wilderness when bull elk are screaming at each other and running around. And we were able to harvest my first ever elk with a bow and arrow, and also my best friend Cam, he was able to get a bull elk as well. So I love all the outdoors, not just for the animal aspect. I just think it's part of my church, if you will, is to get out there. But yeah, I've fallen in love, and Paige, I'm sorry, it's never going to end. I'm obsessed with running around out west.
Most guys' hobbies don't end. They get more obsessive, and 2, they get more expensive. It tends to be the way that it is. Darren, I say this in the most complimentary way I possibly can. You're an old soul. It makes you really good at what you do, serving the families that we do, and we're blessed beyond measure to have you here on the team. We're going to pause there. I told you at the beginning of this episode that this was going to be a 2-part series. We started with kind of some of the advisors on staff. We're going to come back in the next episode and bring some of the staff members, the non-advisors who are a part of the team here at Fiat. But again, just with this idea or concept of we want you to know not only who you specifically work with and who your advisor is here at Fiat, but the entire team. Because at the end of the day, we all support each other and make each other better. And we're trying to build something meaningful that will change the lives of the people that we work with. And so you just deserve to know who these people are. Plus, it's a lot of fun for me, selfishly, to spend some time with the people here at Fiat. So with that being said, thanks for joining us for the first in this 2-part series of getting to know the Fiat team. We'll be back in a couple of weeks with the additional, I got 4 people in the next episode. We only had 3 today. So look forward to that as well. If you're new to the podcast, would recommend that you subscribe so you can know when new episodes come out. And if you just need more information on Fiat, or you want to see the rest of the team, that we can't get everybody into both of these episodes, you can head out to our website, fiatwm.com. Until next time.
Thank you for listening. Don't forget to click the subscribe button to be notified when new episodes become available. The information covered and posted represents the views and opinions of the guests and does not necessarily represent the views and opinions of Fiat Wealth Management. Content has been made available for informational and educational purposes only. The content is not intended to be a substitute for professional investing advice. Always seek the advice of your financial advisor or other qualified financial service provider with any questions you may have regarding your investment planning.